a seat.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of The Glass Table. This is episode 5. We're here after round 3. It's shit. Football sucks. And I think we should just restart the season. Control-Alt-Delete. I am joined by everyone's favourite Jared Thomas. Hello, JT. How are you?
Obviously, everyone's favourite Jared Thomas. Like, there's more Jared Thomases going around.
There's two.
If anyone knows Jared
Thomas.
Thomas, anyone knows Jared Thomas going around, introduce me, because good on him. No, I'm good. I don't think we should restart the season. I think I'm pretty good.
Yes, well, you're top of the ladder. You're 3-0, and life is pretty good to be a Saints supporter.
I'm so confused. It hasn't been like this in a very long time, and I'm very confused about it.
Oh, it feels like 2008 all over again. 2009, actually.
2009. If we can go fucking 19-0, you wouldn't see me.
If St Kilda go 19-0, I swear to Christ himself.
St Kilda go 19-0, I will shave all of my hair. Like,
okay, I'm just going to timestamp that just because I really do want to see it. We can do it together.
Yeah.
Again.
Reshave yours.
I've just got 16 more weeks to grow it back, and then
we'll be right.
We'll be right. But St Kilda are top. What's going on?
I have no idea. To start, I thought it was just like, we're playing okay, but like Freo's not a good team at the moment, and the Dogs aren't a good team at the moment. But now we played an in-form Essendon team, and now I'm like, are we good? Is that what's happening? Is that what's happening at the moment? Is St Kilda okay?
I don't know.
I still don't know. And are we an actual football team this year? Maybe. Maybe we're an actual team this year. Who knows?
Are we an actual football team? That's a question I haven't heard in a while, especially about the Saints.
Oh, boy.
3-0, winning in the 150th in a game that you started out. We'll obviously talk about the game later, but just the whole night was just perfection, mate.
Gorgeous. I know. I was so upset. I should have been there. I was in Phillip Island. I reckon I was the only St Kilda fan in this pub. And when they started kicking back and they tied it, when Caldwell kicked that goal to tie it, everything went off, and I'm just sitting in the corner, just like chewing, freaking out. And then we started kicking away, and I just got up in front of everyone. I'm like in a circle, and I'm just waving the. Everyone around me wants to absolutely melt me. I was about to die in Phillip Island, but here we are. We made it, and we had a great night.
Philippine Island. One of the greatest things I've ever said. And
that was very good.
I was in Melbourne, and I missed the showdown, which I'm very grateful I did. Because if I attended that game and I witnessed that live, I would have been wearing prison bars. But
quite literally,
I would have been wearing prison bars. I hate watching Port with a bit of alcohol or a couple of drinks in my system because I know how emotional it gets.
Yep.
But on Saturday night, there was a sense of acceptance. My mates turned to me and they said, "Don't let the result affect the rest of your night." And quite literally, they've said that when Crows have come back 5-4 in the first quarter. But I've just turned and said, you know what? It's not going to affect my night. 3 quarters later, they're 5 goals ahead. And I downed the biggest fireball shot I've ever seen. And I said, right, this is not affecting my night. Let go.
No more Port Adelaide.
I didn't want to see it. I turned all social media off. I was like, stuff this. And away we went.
And away you went.
And away I went.
I went away for different reasons. But away I went as well.
Yeah, and the daylight savings thing happened, and I thought, well, if we can go back an hour, how about we go back a few more?
When Port were up.
Yeah, we just go back to 10-minute mark of the second quarter. Second quarter when we were 5 goals. No, I think it was 3 goals ahead. 16 points. It's a good time, that one. Well, I think we just get into the rest of the round because
Yes.
we could be here for a while talking about your happiness and my depression,
Non-happiness.
non-happiness. JT good, Ant bad.
Ain't bad.
To put it simply, that's what I've learned.
Perfect segue into the first game of the round.
First game of the round, which felt like an eternity ago.
Oh.
Quite literally, this game was one of the worst games of football ever been produced. Brisbane took on the Dogs at Marvel, and I swear, you were there. This game was awful.
What it takes a special talent to play a bad game at Marvel when the roof is closed, there's no wind, no like everyone can talk shit about the Cairns game, that's fine.
Mm.
But at least it was like wet and just shit. The Collingwood Richmond game a few years ago was at the G, it was open, it was very shit as well, like it was wet. This was like it's perfect conditions at Marvel. You can't have any wind or like anything, and they still managed to produce whatever that game was.
It looked real Div 5 Saturday Arvo in the wet type skill. Like I've played a few of those in my day, and I'm hitting more targets than them. Like it was bad, JT. Really, it was bad. Like you just really sit there and you're just thinking, you're at Marvel. You should know how to kick a football. I was getting exciting seeing points.
I remember like last quarter, Brisbane's down like 7 points, and I'm like, I have never been less excited about a close game in my life. Sitting there just like, what does it matter? Like, oh well, whoever's going to win this.
It was shocking.
I have two things.
Oh, here we go. When the fingers go up, I know.
Two things to say. Bulldogs still bad. But Brisbane worse. No team really won that game. It was more who could kick themselves out of it the most. Brisbane's forward line produced some awful stuff. Like it was rough, like really rough.
Like if I get up the stats and I have a look and see.
Even without the stats, you can just watching that game, Hipwood, and I saw it today, so I don't know what it was on, so I can't quote whoever it was. Someone said Danaher and Hipwood look like those gangly first-year forwards that just run around in like shit football teams. And they can't really take a mark yet because they're not built so big and they're still trying to develop kind of thing. That is what they look like. They just runs at the ball and puts his hands up in the air and just hopes that it sticks. And then like Danaher cannot kick. Oh, it was rough.
It was real Daniel Stewart, John Butcher 2011 areas. It
really
was shocking.
Rough.
Shocking to watch.
I don't know, but the Dogs, credit to the Dogs. They got a win. Good on them. Jamari Uhagan was amazing. He was awesome. Again, though, let's just put a reminder out there. He was playing on Darragh Joyce. So I'm just going to... He was playing on Darragh Joyce.
Darragh
Joyce.
That's a
I will get into Darragh Joyce one day. Not today.
You're going to have a Mason Wood moment with Darren Joyce.
But anyway, yeah, Jamara was really good and a really good moment as well. Both his first goal and his last goal, both amazing. So, put on the Dogs, got a win. Bontempelli's a superstar, isn't he? He's a freak.
I love the Bont. The only thing is, he gives away a lot of free kicks.
He does. I think it's just because he's a big boy and he just gets angry. He just starts throwing things.
Look, when you're a big, strong midfielder and you get angry, it's basically the equivalent of a ruckman getting angry. Like, it's just...
That's throwing people. Yeah.
Oh, and if I had the power to do that, my word, am I throwing my weight around.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
14 points. The Dogs got their first win of the year. Brisbane are in a bit of strife because if they are in very much big danger of going 1-3. They play the Pies this week.
Yeah, I think they're weird though, because obviously they play well at Gabba. Like they beat Melbourne there, who is obviously a really good side. So I think they'll be okay this week. And Collingwood also are really diminished right now because they just lost Darcy Cameron as well. So it's probably Brisbane are like open the door for a win this week. But every time they play away, I don't think I'll ever tip them playing away because they clearly cannot play away. Like they got smoked by Port. Like smoked. Yeah. And then they just lost to the Dogs at Marvel. So I'm never going to tip them away, I don't think.
I love bringing up that round one game.
Good times.
It was happy. It was only 14 days ago, but it was a happier time. It was well, it was a shit game, but overall, I think nothing to take away from it other than people's skills at Marvel are worse than what they are not at Marvel.
Somehow. It shouldn't happen, but it is.
It
Lost it
makes
in the lights, apparently.
all the sense. Oh, get stuffed. There is no such thing as losing it in the lights at Marvel. There are no lights at Marvel.
So stupid sexy screens. That's what it is.
They're just ginormous screens. They get distracted and looking at themselves. I mean, if you come under that stupid sexy category, absolutely. Take all the time in the world to look at yourself.
Take a look.
Take your full
Do
30
what you need to
seconds
do.
to just look at yourself and see how good you look. The rest of you, don't even bother. Like Friday night, I was at this game actually. And
So was I.
saw not much, but it was a very good game. And even though the Pies sort of had it covered the whole night, the interesting thing was Richmond, I thought, were a lot closer than they probably got. And in fact, that second half, they probably almost should have won. They were very good in the wet. I didn't mind the fact that, they played a lot of a different structure up forward. They put Rewalt further up the ground.
Yeah.
But the Pies, man, even in the wet, their transition is absolutely.
I think I said before the game that Richmond were going to get pretty close because Collingwood play a pretty dry weather footy in that they're very quick and very take-offs is like a run and a handball and a carry and blah, blah, blah. So I'd say I knew Richmond was going to get closer because that's just how it is in the wet as well. It's always going to be more low scoring. The game should have been over at halftime. It should have been over. But obviously Collingwood couldn't put them away and then Richmond kind of just held themselves in there for as long as they possibly could. It was a bad game. It just wasn't
really bad game.
It wasn't really enjoyable. Jordan De Goey's a superstar, isn't he? He's just.
I hate that he's.
I hate that
he's so good.
And I always said as well that he was a better forward than he is a midfielder. And now I'm eating my words because he's just killing it now. And I'm like, oh.
How does it feel to eat your own words, mate?
Oh, it's frustrating. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Scott Pendlebury, like the finest of wines. That goal he kicked in the third quarter, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it helped break a deadlock because they just kept kicking points.
Tell you what, his wife would love him dancing because he danced around those blokes too easily.
He just always does. He got caught holding the ball for the first time I think I've seen in years. I have never seen Scott Pendlebury get caught. I haven't seen it in God knows how long. No. It was weird. That was a really weird sight. And then he went off the ground for 18 minutes afterwards. You reckon he was shell-shocked? You reckon he got tackled and he went off there? He was what was that? Because that was illegal, right? That doesn't happen. That's not allowed to happen.
He went off to read the rule book to see where holding the ball was in the book.
Isn't there a little buy section underneath that says don't tackle Scott Pendlebury? What's happening here?
Terms and conditions at the bottom. Do not pay against Scott Pendlebury.
Do not pay against Scott Pendlebury. I'm pretty sure there's a rule when you get drafted to an AFL club. It's all right now. You want hard tackles, boys. But if it's Scott Pendlebury, stay 5 meters clear in a nice radius because you're not allowed to go near.
Social distance against Scott Pendlebury.
Yeah, mate.
Sensational. 14 points. The Pies. His dad just says hello. I don't know. I lost track of what I was thinking. Scott Pendlebury, yes, very good. The Tigers, still very impressive. We said last week that we don't know where they stand. Still don't know where they stand.
Still don't know where they stand. Nothing helps me at all. The game didn't help me one bit.
What we learnt though is the hang on. The 2 first games of this round were shocking.
Third wasn't much better either.
Hawthorn win against North Melbourne, which was interesting.
Now, if you just said Hawthorn win all the way up until I think it was Saturday at 12, I would have been that's weird. But then at about 12:30 or whatever it was, LDU was laid out, and I was like, "Yeah, Hawks are probably going to win this game."
That was announced 2 minutes before the game started.
Or whatever it was. Then yeah, whatever time the game was, right up until that point, if you just said Hawks win, I was like, really? And then as soon as LDU got announced that, I was like, oh yeah, okay, Hawks are going to win this game.
I couldn't believe it. I didn't even realize it was out. It took me to half time to realize LDU was not playing. I
Someone
didn't see
said that
any
to
of
me
the
as well.
announcements. I didn't see
Someone said, I was
anything.
like, oh, what's LDU on? And I was like, he didn't play.
That's literally what happened. I was obviously at the F1 and it was in the stands and I'm just sitting there watching the game, waiting for the next race to come on. And my mate turns to me and goes, what's LDU on? And I'm thinking,
Seen him all.
you know what? I haven't seen him for a while. Let me just check. And I said, and he's already checked before and gone, oh, he's out. He's not playing. 0.
Awful. I managed to squeeze in some bench cover, so I actually I avoided the 0, but yeah, interesting. What are you?
There was a few, I think, Blake Hardwick, I think his name is, was on like 120 or something like that.
I saw that.
It was on like 90 at halftime or something. I was just thinking, well, I'm sorry, who are you?
What? There's a lot of those.
Is that
One of
you?
those players.
Damien Hardwick?
Damien Hardwick, dimmer.
Early 2000s? Port Adelaide Premiership player, Damien Hardwick.
Imagine. That's all he's ever been known for.
Yeah. He's done nothing else.
Nothing
in
else.
his footballing career. Damien Hardwick.
Oh,
Port Adelaide Premiership coach. A premiership. No. Port Adelaide Premiership player. Holy shit, I'm having a mare.
Just woke up from a nap, having an awful one.
Oh, it wasn't really a nap. It was just, you just sit there and you're just zoning.
Yes.
There was a lot of staring going on. That's for sure.
Plenty of it. I think the one good thing that came out of this game, one for both sides. Dylan Moore for Hawks, really, really good. 26, 2 goals, superstar.
Standard Moore.
And the second thing is because LDU went out, and then Cunnington had a lot more midfield time, and seeing Cunners in the midfield was it was nice for the heart. It was nice to see him run around in the midfield more because I was like, oh, I miss him in there. It was
real 2013 North Melbourne. They genuinely sucked. But seeing Cunners come through the midfield, bashing into Pat, I was like, you should stay there.
I like when you're here.
I like that. You know what? You're invited.
It doesn't really work if both of them are there, but because LDU was out, I was like, get him in there. Go on.
They couldn't do it to anyone else. It was like,
no.
Come back.
Go on.
Like visiting a friend you haven't seen since high school. It's just like, I miss you. We should do this more often.
Then never put him back in there.
Yeah. I'm just too busy this week.
Oh, Luke's back. Sorry, brother. To the forward line for you. Back to the forward line for you. Thank you.
Footy and Tassie in general won that. The two Tasmanian teams. I don't think they're Melbourne teams anymore. They're two Tassie teams. It was very interesting. I did notice this. I was looking on the AFL app.
Right.
Hawthorn interchanges 74 out of 75. North Melbourne, 18 interchanges out of 75. It's what the app says, and I'm going by it.
That's got to be a lie.
Right? I don't know. Maybe it broke. But Hugh Greenwood's been sitting on the bench for 35 minutes. They've made 18 interchanges.
Surely not. What?
I don't know if this has been addressed.
Anyone reading this? Anyone listening to this or watching this? Yeah.
Reading the subtitles.
Anyone watching this or listening to this, please help us track this down because that makes no sense, I feel.
Oh, they're probably the North Melbourne side of the interchange app broke, but I don't know. It just showed up.
I mean, yeah. Okay, sure.
Feel sorry for Hugh Greenwood. Must have been having a bad day if he's spending 35 minutes on the bench.
Tough day for you, brother. Oh, dear.
Clearly, LDU going out not only broke North midfield, but it also broke their bench.
They had no clue what they were doing.
No.
Oh, boy.
Game after that, it's probably equally as shit as well.
Four bad games.
Carson. Right. I've got a gripe with this game. This stupid descent rule can piss off. Umpire, did you see the announcement? Like, they came out with a statement afterwards, and they legit said it's because of the umpire's emotions is why it was paid.
I like listened to that audio of whatever umpire is talking to Whitfield, and I'm like, Jesus, man. Like, the umpire's emotion. It's been talked to death over the last like 4 days because it's all anyone could talk about. But like, the umpires have emotion, obviously, but so do the players. Like, you're acting like the players don't have any emotions themselves. So when a free kick that they don't necessarily agree with, they're allowed to. They're not running up to you being like, calling you a dickhead because you got something wrong. He's putting his hands up and being like, he's trying to contain himself. It's the worst. And I don't remember what game it was. There was a game. It might have been the goalie. Some player like tries everything they can to like not show emotion at a decision. He like pulls himself in and the umpire still pays it. And I'm like, that is bullshit because he's trying so hard not to like do anything. And I'm like, what do you like? It kills the game. Like, it kills every little love. I don't know.
I don't know, but if they want to be serious about the umpire's emotions, then 50,000 people should get dissent every week because literally the shit that you hear in the stands.
Send fans out of the stands every time we boo.
The whole crowd's going to be in the sin bin. But you can't if you're going to play the emotional card, it's got to be with everything.
Literally, you have to give the players also the benefit of the doubt. I don't know.
Yeah,
the game itself was nothing really. Carlton almost
9 goals, 20.
Carlton almost fucked it. They did everything they could to not win this game, but they've done it. So good on them. Yeah, not much to say about it. Paddy Cripps is pretty good.
41
touches. It was a big week for the midfield, like the big midfielders of the comp. Like Bont, Cripper, Tommy Mitchell had a good one again. Neil had a good one. Like, it was a big week for the big boys, you know?
Cunners.
Cunners.
Yeah, 9 goals 20 to 9 goals 10, 10 points. But obviously, one probably due to that dissent call. But I still think, 2 years ago, a Carlton team like that in that position lose that game.
Even last year, late last year, Carlton would have lost that game. But they seem a different side. Good on them. They're still going, still undefeated technically because they had a draw. So good on them. Giants are always their team that they struggle with. So like, if this game was against like say Hawthorn or like someone like that, and they almost fucked it, I'd be a bit worried. Because the Giants always seem to have that edge over Carlton. I'm like, I'll give them a pass because I understand like having a team like that it'll just get you every single time.
Yeah, and it's funny too because we've said every week, oh, the Giants will fall off. The Giants will fall off. But they're still there. They're still nagging.
What's happening with the Giants right now?
I don't know, but it's weird. And Jesse Hogan seems to be doing things at the moment.
I reckon he does this every year, though. I reckon he always like I forget he play. This is the cycle of Jesse Hogan, right? Get ready to listen up.
Here we
get
go.
ready to clip this bad boy. The cycle of Jesse Hogan. You forget he exists. You forget he exists for months. From September through to March, you forget Jesse Hogan's a person. Round 1 starts, you look at the Giants line up and you go, oh, Jesse Hogan's playing. Oh, it's crazy. Forget he's there. You're like, oh, forget he's still in the league. Then he'll kick 3, and you're like, oh, bad. And he'll do it again the next week, he'll kick 2, kick 3. I'm like, oh, he's not Jesse Hogan, you know? And then he just,
John.
back down. He'll either get an injury or he'll just stop doing anything. And then again, it cycles all the way back around to September. And it just rolls on through.
It's perfectly described because I still genuinely forget he plays for GWS.
That's what I'm saying. He's a 3-team player, Jesse Hogan.
Melbourne, Fremantle, GWS.
Yeah.
You know what the next stop is? Div 4, probably. Div 4. That's what happens after you go to 3 clubs.
It's just so weird. It's really weird. Yeah, good on him.
Jesse Hogan. Interesting. Next game. And this is you. This is all you. St Kilda, Speed Essendon. Fire away, mate. She's all yours.
Oh, boy. I don't even know where to start. We started so well. Also, if you're just sitting there, just having a drink. We started really well. We dominated. Our first quarter was elite. We actually had some contributors that hadn't done a lot in the first couple of rounds really contribute. Jack Higgins for one was huge. We had like a lot of guys stand up. I was worried coming into it because one, teams never seemed to win on their anniversary things, and two, we didn't have Jack Steele, which is pretty important. But we still managed to do really well. And then we've been talking to this with like a bunch of my Saints mates. The fact that this is like that Carlton thing. When Essendon kicked 3 goals, whatever, to start the last quarter, an old St Kilda team would have just fallen away. Like that was the end of us. We would have just rolled over and let them kick the next 4 and just put the game beyond doubt. But they drew with us, and then we went, right, here we go again, and then went all out again and pulled the game away from them once more. So it's like, it's weird to see us playing good. Like, we actually looked good. I love seeing us play a game at the G with like all of our fans there because it looks so nice. And it was like the noise that the crowd was making reminds me of like back in 2009 days when we had like massive attendance. Like, oh, good for my heart. It was good for my soul. Hearing us be really loud and like cheer our boys home is unbelievable. Now we're 3-0 and it's weird. And also Mason Wood.
Yeah, your face looks like you got a Mason Wood at the moment. Genuinely, the way you were talking then, I've had that one lined up since you started talking, and the fact that you ended on Mason Wood.
Yeah, solid. Yeah. All right. You know what? I don't even care. It's great. I love everything we've done. That's great. St Kilda's playing good, and St Kilda's playing good, and life's good. So how about that?
Mason Wood. Yeah. The stupid sexy AFL player who's done extremely well and a little bit of an injury cloud.
Yeah, which is weird. So Red, the first report was 6 to 8 weeks, and I was ready to cry. I saw your face as well. Second report should be good for Gold Coast.
Well,
so
interesting.
Either he's gone to the bye or plays this week.
Well, that's twofold. One, I hope for your sake he plays this week, and for my sake because my fantasy team needs him. Because at the moment, he's the one that's getting me anything near a chance. So all is good with Mason Wood.
All is good with Mason Wood. Let's hope.
Essendon, anything to take from them? I think they're just coasting along nicely. They just got beaten by a better side.
Yeah, I like, a lot of teams that lose is whatever, but they were good. It's just their start was poor. That was pretty much all it was that cost them. They just didn't wake up in enough time. Like they couldn't really catch us. And usually he's all right, but Mason Redmond was pretty poor on Saturday. Like he gave away some pretty crucial free kicks and was like uncharacteristically like fumbly, and he kind of gave away just stupid ones. So like on a better day, I think that game is one, it's right down to the wire. Like we won by 3 goals in the end, but it was obviously they close for most of it. But it was just they didn't wake up in time. So they're still fine, and I think they're still better than everyone thought they were going to be at the start of the year. But yeah, I think they just got beaten by a better side on the night.
70,000 people. And I did say this last week. If you can get 60 plus, and I think you said 65, to get 70, and the weather was atrocious. Like Melbourne.
Oh, yeah. And it was
pick up your game.
We were awful, yeah. Melbourne's no good. Good on Sunday, though. Gorgeous on Sunday.
Fantastic Sunday. It was unbelievable. Saturday, I probably caught pneumonia and other diseases. Like it was cold. It was wet. I was wearing a racing suit. I just remember riding. I think we walked back, and just from Albert Park to the city, we walked back, half an hour walk, and I'm generally walking through this rain and cold. And the first thought in my head is, there won't be 60,000 people at the G tonight.
And there was.
And there was 70. So wherever those 10,000 extra happened to be, I wish I was there because there was another game on the weekend that was played at the exact same time. I was going to say,
are we talking about the weather because you don't want to talk about the showdown? Is that what's happening at the moment?
You did say Sunday. So Sunday was very good.
Segue.
Sunday was lovely. No,
quickly run through the showdown.
The first three quarters,
Great.
if you were in neutral, it was a great game of footy to watch.
Had the two TVs side by side, and I was like, this game's good.
It was open. Both defenses were struggling because it was just, I think the Crows, obviously, they had the better of us. They were just able to transition a lot better. And once again, I haven't done a review for this loss, so it is confirming that big rumor going around at the moment that I only review the wins.
Review the wins.
I'm a happy clapper.
Van Hill scale.
Yeah. Oh, give Ken Hinkley another contract extension. No, definitely don't.
There's a lot about that at the moment.
Yes, well, I don't know what to say about it because
we'll leave that for the pair. We'll leave that for.
That's probably an exclusive for me to rant
That's a
on.
different video.
Yeah, good game. The Crows deserve to win. I think Port were just caught up in the emotion of wearing the prison bars, big crowd. There is a lot of pressure on Port at the moment. If you're a neutral looking in, you're thinking they're probably what everyone expected them to be, and that's who the hell knows what's going to happen. They're bang average. Like, I have to say it, Port are bang average. And I don't like to admit that, but there's bar 3 or 4 players on the weekend. Sam Powell-Pepper, Charlie Dixon, and probably Connor Rosie. Everyone else had moments where I don't even think you're getting picked in any other side.
It's weird. Like, I think I made a joke last week about how Adelaide have the two small forwards, and I said which one's going to kick 5. I sort of said it as a joke, and then Rankin actually kicked 4, and I was like, oh, okay.
Everything you say on this damn podcast, it comes true.
It comes true, doesn't it? I'm a bloody wizard. I don't know. Port are really dark. I don't want to. I don't like taking pot shots at like a player of this caliber, right?
Yeah.
But there is a lot of talk right now about Tom Jonas.
Oh,
because he's the captain of the football club, and now 2 weeks in a row, he is. I think last week he got maybe 4 or 5 touches, and this week he got
3.
7. 3 the first week, and this week he got 7.
Now
I know he's a key back. Touches aren't obviously all of his game, but he also had Dixon kick, like, and he was playing on. I don't know. Like, I think there needs to be a conversation about Tom Jonas because I don't know what's going on.
The conversation is simply, if he isn't performing as captain, regardless of that tag, he shouldn't play.
Yeah, it's the Giants dilemma of 2020, where Canelio wasn't playing how he should, and they dropped him, and now he's good again, Canelio. So maybe it's a sign that if he keeps playing like that, he might not.
But this is the thing. With Port's leadership, there is 3 players in that leadership group officially.
Yep.
Tom Jonas, bang average form.
At the moment, yeah.
Ollie Wines, nowhere near Brownlow medal form. Darcy Byrne-Jones is the worst hyphen name I've seen. And that's when Jasper McMillan-Pillard was playing. So
wow,
you've got
obscure.
3 people. Yeah, it was. I came up with it today. I saw it today. I was like, "Oh, that's really good." Jasper McMillan-Pillard. Port Adelaide have had a lot of hyphen names go through, actually. McMillan-Pillard, Horn Francis, Byrne-Jones. That's your leadership group. If you're dealing with that and all of them aren't to the standard, you've got Boak, who's not even getting anywhere near the midfield time he probably should have on the weekend, and was only late when they threw him back in. Then you've got like Rosie, Butters. They look good, but they weren't great. There is no leadership at Port Adelaide at the moment. And that is really sad. Weird.
It's also not even just on the playing field. Like, it seems like the coaching, like, it seems like in the coaching staff is the same thing. Like, and no one else has any faith in anybody at the moment because, like, people even want to Hinkley out for God knows how long. Like, it's weird.
And we play Sydney this week.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
Sydney at the SCG. The only thing that's going for us is we haven't lost to Sydney since 2016.
That's true. What time is it? Oh, it's the
Saturday night game.
It's the Saturday Fox Footy game. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, it's the Saturday Fox Footy game.
God
Well,
help
in
us all.
Victoria anyway. In Victoria anyway. I don't know if it's different for you guys.
We'll get it broadcasted.
Yeah, but it's our Saturday Fox Footy game. Oh boy.
I hate it.
Hmm.
Sunday.
Sunday. We'll go to Sunday.
Let's go to Sunday.
Yes.
We are the Suns of the Gold Coast Sky.
The Suns.
I've never been more happier for a Gold Coast win than this. This was sensational.
I said it last week. I was like, there is a chance Gold Coast did. And the fact that Jeremy Cameron still played and they still won.
Mm-hmm.
What
We
a
both
weird
said
game
it,
for Gold Coast to win.
We were like,
yeah, we both said
this is a Gold Coast game to win.
very Gold Coast game to win. So they always get that one sneaky one. What a win.
I couldn't believe it. I was following it the whole day. I'm thinking, so long I haven't run away with this yet. So long I haven't run away with it. Gold Coast were leading by 2 goals. They haven't run away with it. And then Jack Lukosius launched arguably the longest kick I've ever seen.
73 meters that ball went.
A drop punt.
You know what's the best part about that goal, though? He takes the mark, turns around immediately and points at the goal. And has to do it like 6 or 7 times because the umpire's like, you're kidding yourself, mate. And he's like, I'm dead set going for goal here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he just goes back and thumps it. Like,
it was a real stick it up your ass umpire move.
It didn't just like just cross over the line. It hit the fucking stands. Like, just scrape its way over.
That thing still had airtime.
Over.
I was so impressed. I was so happy. Like, it was just, Port didn't win, but Gold Coast won. So I was like, And it was a really sunny day Sunday. It was
Beautiful.
a really Sunday. It was a sunny day. Yeah, you know what
It was a Sunday.
Yeah, it was a sun. It was a sun.
Yeah, you get it.
It's a Sunday. It was a Gold Coast Sunday and 19 points. The Cats. Sucked in. You're falling over. It's about bloody time.
No, I'm not gonna get early on the Geelong
I'm doing it.
train.
I'm doing it. You can do your wizard shit and call everything that goes right. I don't care. I'm pot shotting this. They're done.
I just know Geelong have those games where they play like down at bloody Cardinia Park on like a Saturday and they just win them every single time. So I don't want to like.
Oh yeah, they're gonna win 10 in a row at the end of the year.
Yeah, because it'll get to like round 7 and they'll just win every game. But like, if they lose to Hawthorn this week, that would be a worry.
Yes.
That would be a worry.
Yes. Actually, obviously, to be fair, I haven't watched this game back. I just saw the scores, so I can't really take too much more away from it, other than the fact that I was genuinely so impressed with Gold Coast.
Yeah, I watched a little bit. I was coming home from football, but I watched a bit. And one thing that gets me as well is that when Gold Coast went up, it seemed like there was every chance Geelong just run them over because it was like Gold Coast kind of used all their luck to get to where they were. But then they just held so firm and just did not let anything hit them. They won it in the contest constantly. Like they weren't shying away from any of the Geelong, like superstars, whatever. Like they were matching it with them and more. And good on them. Gold Coast needed that win as well. Like that win is going to hopefully propel them to some pretty cool things this year. But we'll see how we go.
Hopefully. That was Stuart G. For one.
You had that one in the chamber, didn't you?
Yeah, that one's been written for about 3 weeks.
That was written on the notepad.
It was at the bottom. I was happy with that one. The next one, Melbourne, Sydney. You got this tip right, got it wrong. It's the only one that we had different. I don't know. I didn't watch this game. To be fair, I saw nothing of Sunday, if I'm absolutely honest. So we can get through these pretty quickly. But the D's did the D thing, where they just win at the G. They win the big game at the G. And the Swans, a little bit concerning.
Yeah, Jacko wasn't happy about it. Jacko, if you listen to this.
I've never seen so many.
I've never seen so much
many
swearing.
capital letters.
So many capital letters, so much swearing. It
was
weird.
a lot of capital letters.
He's looked so good though. I thought they were going to look good. Their team is crazy. Like Clayton Oliver is probably one of the best players in the comp. I mean, he's definitely top 3. I was going to say he's the best.
What is that
but then I remember-
called?
No, I was going to say he's the best, but then I remember Jeremy Cameron exists. He's the best midfielder in the comp. I'll leave it at that. Obviously, I think. Like, he had 25 and 2. Brodie Grundy was unbelievable. The fact that Brodie Grundy is now the main ruckman means he's going to get back to that sort of Collingwood form where he was like really, really good that year. Oh, good Brodie Grundy is good for the league because he's a good player to watch.
Yeah.
They killed him.
Grundys.
The Grundys, they killed him. Like,
Yeah.
did not look remotely stressed. From the moment the ball bounced, they didn't look stressed whatsoever.
No, it was a good game for the D's. I think so it probably settles them a little bit for the momentum going into the year. Sydney, I hate saying this, but if they lose to Port,
They can't.
alarm bells.
They
Alarm bells. Well, I'm not going to say anything further. You know what?
The thing is, they were doing fine up until this, and now it's like, oh boy, like that one hurts.
They pumped the Gold Coast Suns.
They pumped
What did they do?
Hawthorn.
They pumped Hawthorn, and then they've just gone and lost to a contender.
Yeah, I think as well. I think there's probably at the moment there's probably 2 teams that are leading the premiership race. I'm not going to say St Kilda. Don't. We're not doing that. There's probably 2 teams, and it's Melbourne and Collingwood. I think those 2 are the 2 teams that right now, if you were to just pick a grand final right now, it looks like Melbourne and Collingwood.
That's huge.
Yeah. It's really weird to see too, because Collingwood, leave us alone, Collingwood. Stop being good for a little while. Interesting. Really interesting.
If there's a Melbourne Collingwood grand final, I'm literally sitting there in September thinking, it's not the Queen's birthday.
What is happening right now?
It's not the King's birthday in September. What are you doing?
Why are we here?
Where's Geelong?
Richmond, don't they play in these?
Hang on. Wasn't there a Sydney here somewhere? Yeah, overall, good. Oh, hang on, there's a derby.
I was going to say, there's one more.
Did West Coast have a team at the end of this?
This is the thing, right? You just look at the scoreline. You see Freo win by 41. You're like, that seems about right. Freo did not play good, like at all. West Coast were matching it up to them, if not better than them, and then they lost everybody. They were down to 0 on the bench, and they still like. I know I got to 41, but like when the game was in the balance, West Coast were right there, and then they just lost everybody, and that's like West Coast. There is a curse at West Coast.
Oh, seriously. And this thing, I look at the benches. I'll bring up the bench stats again because this is very, very funny.
Yeah.
74 out of 75 interchanges for Freo, 50 out of 75 for West Coast. And look at the time they've spent on the bench. Jamie Cripps, 49 minutes. Jeremy McGovern, by the way, sucks shit. 77 minutes. Liam Ryan, 13 minutes. Luke Shuey doesn't even have a time. It just says injured.
Because he was there for a long time.
Witherden got the living suitcase belted out of him and no free kick paid for it, 67 minutes. And that's just the ones on the bench. I'm pretty sure there's 2 others.
I love that like interchange thing. That isn't out of the fact that they don't want to rotate people. It's out of the fact that they physically could not get people on the park. Like, that is crazy to me.
It's like the AFL app literally gave up on naming how many West Coast players were injured and just said, just count the minutes and see how you go.
Just count how many's on the field and then just figure it out. There's like Freo won that game because West Coast just had no one by the end. And also, Phil and Darcy.
Oh, yeah. Really announced
himself. That was a game.
That's a game. That was a real, I'm the number 1 ruckman at this joint.
That is, fuck to Luke Jackson.
Get in the queue, champions.
I am taking this.
He is gone. Get in the queue, brother.
He had 20 touches, a goal, and 52 hitouts.
Thing was, though, Luke Jackson was very good, I thought.
Yeah, no, it was like he had kicked 2. Like he actually did what he needed to do and be a forward. But it's the fact that like they mainly relied on Darcy, which they should be doing, and let Luke just work himself out. Yeah, let him work himself into the forward line. That sounds mad. Let him work himself into the forward line, and then we'll leave it.
Let him work himself out. You got some issues. Spend some time on the forward line. It's okay. We'll be here for you if you need. And you know what? If you want to get busy, go on the ruck. It's okay. It's all good.
Just let Sean take it. You can come back in a bit.
Yeah,
it's fine.
But when you're ready, it'll be good. It'll be okay. That was round 3. It was pretty shit.
There we go.
I was speaking of players and having some time to figure themselves out. Got a coach's award for us this week.
I actually do. This one is very funny to me. This one isn't really based on stats because I don't actually know how well he played. I think I'm picking these. I think I'm picking these based on the. Actually, no. Last week I didn't pick you because I wasn't there. But I'm picking most of these based on the games that I'm at because I watch them and I'm like, oh, that play was kind of okay. Bailey Williams of the Western Bulldogs. Now, before today, the only thing I knew about Bailey Williams was he got his shit rocked in the 2021 grand final. He was kind of bad early and he turned it over. I think twice he turned over a goal. I turned over the D's goal. All I remember before that was that. But on the weekend, I don't know how he played. Let me find his stats actually so I can back myself up. All I remember was he kicked a goal late that was like the sealer, you know? And he's only kicked like 20 goals in his career or whatever out of the 100 because he usually plays as a backman. So good on him because he did it. He had 17 touches. He had 8 marks. Kicked the goal, which ended up being the sealer and the winner. Bailey Williams, well done, son. My team is looking awful. Charlie Comben. Charlie Comben, Samson Ryan, and Bailey Williams. Oh boy.
I don't think I have seen. I've known Bailey Williams. Like that's good. The other two still don't have a clue. Like as I said, I was watching the North Hawks game on my phone at the race, and I'm just sitting there. I see Charlie Comben kicking for goal, and I'm like, "Oh, you're
there
that bloke.
You're
that bloke."
There he is.
There it is. My mates had a bet about Samson Ryan on Friday night.
Yeah.
Him getting over 30 fantasy points.
Did he?
And if you didn't, the other one gets a beer. That's how shit he is. And I don't mean shit as in quality of football. I just mean fantasy. So
I don't think he did anything on Friday anyway.
Well, I just see these names and I'm just thinking Coach's Award. So next week I'll watch the Dogs game and I'll just think Coach's Award.
Samson Ryan had 2 disposals.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh boy.
Did he get subbed out? I think he got subbed out, surely.
I don't think he did. Hang on, let me get the bench times up.
He got
bench times up.
He only played 43 minutes. I swear.
He was on the bench for 63 minutes.
Okay, so he definitely got subbed out. What do you
He got subbed.
You're going to get subbed. We're good.
Pretty sure he got subbed out.
We're all right. All good.
63 minutes is a very good coach's time. Speaking of talking about the games, let's go around the glass table. I've gone dark here.
Yeah.
Do you want us to read some out? We don't have too many this week. But,
no, I left it very late, I'll admit. It was very busy. So we're talking about the biggest takeaways from round 3, and it ended up being just a lot of questions for us that we want to talk about. Let's start with Ari, my boy. How many votes will Mason Wood win the Brownlow by? What's the record again? What did Ollie Wines get? 36. So
getting near. If Mason Wood gets anywhere near 36, he must have a pretty damn good year.
There's games. There's 23 games in the year. Times up by 3.
69.
69 votes he's going to get, and then closest wouldn't even be near that. Closest is usually around 30. So let's just round it up and say 40 votes. He's going to win it by 40 votes.
I rate it. If you're a gambling person, get on it.
No, don't.
Gamble responsibly, unless it's Mason Wood. Brando has chimed in again, and that's his 5th mention on this show. Round 6, top 2 clash between the Saints and the Blues is going to be a belter. Now, when Carlton fans were labeling how well they're going to go, and they had 5-0 penciled in. I was sitting there and I saw round 6, and I've just said, you know what, pencil in 6-0. Now,
Nah.
I'm on the Saints train.
I always come into Saints Carlton games really confident, like overly
Yeah.
confident, because I just think we always win them. It happens way too often. We did it last year as well. We beat them on their like that little streak at the end where they should have made finals. One win would have put them in finals, but we beat them, and then like Adelaide beat them, and then Melbourne beat them, and it was just everything.
Yeah.
If we beat Gold Coast, we then play Collingwood on Sunday 4:40 at Adelaide Oval, and there is a good chance that that's top 2 clash. And then if we win that, round 6, Carlton St Kilda.
I love the fact that round 5 in Adelaide, 440 time slot could be a top 2 clash.
Would be a top 2 clash for beat Gold Coast. Absolutely.
That would be the most obscure, weird top 2 clash to be at 440 on a Sunday.
That'll be a trivia
in
question.
Adelaide.
That'll be a trivia question later on.
Yeah.
Like that'll be a what top 2 clash was played at Adelaide Oval on a Sunday at 4:40, and people are going to be like, oh, I don't know, like Port versus I don't know someone, Adelaide versus someone back in like 2017 or whatever. No. So give it Collingwood.
That's so weird.
Yep.
Um,
We've got Grattan as well, another St Kilda one. How long until JT has to suit up for St Kilda with all their injuries? Oh boy, I've got the phone on standby. I'm waiting for my jump presentation, it seems.
Actually, question. If you
Yes.
had to, and someone was to present you your St Kilda Guernsey, who's presenting you with your debut jumper?
Oh man. 3 names come to mind like straight away. Nick Real, Lenny Hayes, Robert Harvey. Classic 3. They're the classic 3. I'm going to go obscure. Tom Simpkin. Now,
Who's Tom Simpkin?
I like boy. He used to wear number 31.
Why are you getting Tom Simpkin to present you your St Kilda debut
Because,
jumper?
right, I was talking about this week, and it's a vital part of this quite a like Gold Coast story, right? But I'd completely forgotten. No. Listen, it's nothing to do with the game, really. I was staying in Adelaide, and we're staying at Caravan Park, and the caravan next to us, we became friends with, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna go to this Adelaide game." Like, someone I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." Family was Simpkin family,
Oh,
parents of Tom, who lives in Kilda, and Jonathan, who is a Hawthorn Premiership player because he played for the Box Hill Hawks the week before in the grand final, had like 35 touches and a goal, and became the sub against Freo.
that is a fantastic story. That's a real holy shit.
I was not just at Gold Coast first ever win at Adelaide, but I was also with a family with 2 AFL players, one by St Kilda and one Premiership player. So anyway, long-winded way to say, I would like Tom Simpkin to present.
That's genuinely the greatest story I might have heard. I'm stumped. I'm Patrick stumped. Holy shit.
Me and the Simpkin fam, man, we go way back. Remember that time when Ryan Lake punched Tom Simpkin in the head? Yeah, that's basically it. That's what he became known for.
I don't actually.
That's what I'm saying. Who wouldn't?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Brian Lake was playing for the Dogs, and he punched Tom Simpkin in the face and got suspended.
Interesting.
Yeah. Roll the clip. I don't know. That'll be impossible to find.
Speaking of people that we love, do you You know what
Probably
time it is?
Stupid sexy.
AFL players.
Oh, stupid sexy AFL players. Tom Simpkin gets a special mention because he's presenting your jumper. You can start again because I'm sure you've got another great story.
I actually don't this time. I just think it's funny that I've picked this guy now.
Oh,
I went with Nick last week.
no.
Josh Dacos.
You-
I'm keeping it in the family. We're rolling through. We're
We're
rolling
keeping it
through.
in the family.
Josh Dacos.
Oh.
Sexy and also playing really well. He gets overshadowed a lot by younger brother. Since Nick's come along, Josh has been a lot better, and he's been really good this year. He's probably been like one of probably top 5 at the Pies in a very good team. So Josh Dacos, Stupid Sexy, and a good footballer.
Yeah, there's something about that Dacos family.
Good genes.
I would have. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking. Anyway, good genes. Is it
I
the
know
ones
exactly what
they wear or?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you're on the same wavelength.
Oh boy.
Speaking of wavelengths, this bloke can kick, and he can kick very well. And it's from the same game. There is something about Daniel Rioli for me.
Oh yeah.
There is
Absolutely.
something about, like, a lot of the Riolis have not been blessed with stupid sexiness. They've been blessed with far out massively great talent and dominate the game. But Daniel has both. He has unreal skill. The fact that he plays across half back and is genuinely just a naturally beautiful human being.
He's playing very well.
And he is playing very well.
I find this is funny to me, right? I just want to put this out. This round, I don't know how to get this out. I don't know how to say this in the right way. Mia Favola would be looking at this round with fucking stars in her eyes. Okay. Thursday night, Tamara kicks 5, wins the game for the Dogs. Friday night, Rioli plays out of his skin once again. Saturday night, Josh Battle takes 10 marks, 8 intercept, 14 touches, and helps win the game for the Saints.
And then she was just all of us as Gold Coast had a great Sunday.
Just saying that.
Really just brought Mia into this.
It's a fucking good theory, but I don't know. Oh, I don't know if they held like a
I hope
meeting.
she's coming over for gather round.
I don't know if they held a meeting or something like that. They all played really well.
Can you imagine just a general meeting?
Man from all the X Club.
It's every Tuesday night after training. They all meet up together, and it's just like it's a real for the greater good.
Well, play in the same city, so it's not that unthinkable.
Do you reckon they got a group chat?
Oh, we didn't get off this. This is awful. What a derailing of that.
That's a great segment. Anyway, Danny Rioli, Josh Dacos.
Welcome to the club.
In our hours. Okay. Round 4. We'll get into the tipping. We're obviously 1-1 because we drew. It's round 2. I won the first one. You won the third because of stupid Sydney. So currently the rounds are at 1 apiece, and no one's buying anyone a drink.
No.
Except for gather round, which will be anyway. Brisbane Pies Thursday night. It's Easter weekend, so this one's going to be another. I think what is it? Yeah, 5 days of footy: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Brisbane Pies. Who are you tipping?
Brisbane.
So am I.
Oh, this is going to be one of those ones that comes back to bite us, though. Because,
We were like, I've gone rogue, and you're like, oh,
yeah, we're going to be like,
we're gonna be a bit
this
different.
this is the one. We're going to be different. We're going to be like, Collingwood's flying. Brisbane's going to win it. Collingwood's probably going to win by like 60 now. But
Yeah, I'm
Brisbane.
going Brisbane
I'm tipping Brisbane as well.
at the Gabba.
And Pies don't have a ruckman.
Yeah, no, Cameron. Interesting. 6 to 8 weeks. Billy Frampton can play in the ruck.
He's good on Friday.
No, he was
Billy Frampton. No,
No,
I will have this argument.
No, shut
This
up.
argument right now.
He was
Billy
not
Frampton
good.
did his role. He takes marks. He can't kick. He cannot do that. But he took a lot of marks.
I didn't see one.
I saw plenty. Let's see how
I
many he
saw a
had.
lot of fumble punches across the line.
Nah. Billy Frampton got 6 coaches votes.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not.
North Melbourne versus Carlton. Who are you tipping?
Carlton. I think North get out of you back. But the Good Friday games never do well for North. So I think Carlton can win.
I'm tipping North Melbourne.
Oh boy. You did say you were gonna go rogue.
I've gone rogue, and I'll tell you why. They've put so much effort into this Good Friday game, and they never get it right.
Has to pay off at some point.
It will pay off at some point, and it's this year. They've got the big team to play. They've always had the Dogs, who we know are atrocious. They've got the big team. It's the Good Friday big stage. It's going to pay off. They get LDU back. They're going to realise that Cunners should be in there as well. And Carlton, I won't say they're good, but they're gettable.
Yeah, especially after last week, for sure.
Yep. And that's all I'm banking on.
Okay. I respect the tip.
Thanks.
But I'm going Carlton.
Okay.
Just I don't think it's I like North and I think they're okay, but I don't think they're quite cut the level.
If North Melbourne win, I'm going to go mental. I might even buy a North scarf. No, not really. I don't have the money for that. Adelaide Freo at the Croval.
Oh. This game sucks. Running like that way. I mean, it sucks as in like I have no idea who's going to win this.
I like that it sucks. I'm not watching it. It's 1:15 on a Saturday.
I'm going to go with Adelaide.
I tipped Adelaide too.
Yeah, okay.
I tipped Adelaide too.
Okay.
Richmond, Western Bulldogs.
We're going to go back to Dogs bad. Richmond's going to win this one. I don't think the Dogs, they're fine, but I think Richmond are going to sort of prove themselves to be a little bit better than they have been the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, I'm going to say Richmond's going to win this one.
Yeah. Samson Ryan kicked 5.
If he plays.
If he's still on the bench from last week, probably not. Why is it that Port and St Kilda are playing on Saturday nights back to back?
I don't know what's going on.
We're not gonna have to. Last week we were stressy.
We were texting each other in full fucking stress.
Yeah, we were stressy.
It was about the same time.
Panic.
At the same time when Essendon started coming back, that Port and Adelaide was really close. So it was just like freaking out.
No capitals though. We were calm. We're just stressy.
Yes.
St Kilda, Gold Coast, Marvel, 7:00. You going?
I am going. And I think we're going to win. I think if we have Mason playing, we'll be right. We played Gold Coast at Marvel last year, and we didn't like convincingly beat them, but it was like we weren't really in danger.
Yep.
I think Gold Coast, although they beat Geelong, which is big, I don't think they're as they're not in as good form as us for one, but I think we'll sort of it'll be like a fine enough game, but I think we'll win it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'll tip St Kilda. It'd be a close game, but I just think, and I don't want to say it, but it'll be a Gold Coast kind of game to get up again.
It would be. It really would be. And it'd be a St Kilda game to lose too. It'd be a St Kilda game to lose.
But I have faith. This is a new St Kilda.
under
This
Ross.
is,
The
this
boss.
is the Ross Saints. Sydney, Port Adelaide at the SCG. Who are you going?
I can't go away from Sydney, especially because it's in that Fox Sports time slot. At the SCG. Sydney's
The
going to
little
want to bounce
G.
back. The little G. Sydney's going to
little
want to
G.
bounce back, and yeah, I think they're going to win.
I'm going to give. I'm tipping Port. It's just this game. For some unknown reason, every time there is pressure on one, our playing group, two, Ken Hinkley, and three, we're just up against a quality team. We just pull it out of our ass. Just to let the pressure settle for a week.
Give Ken a contract extension.
God forbid. I'm tipping Port.
Okay.
And you can see the preview for that coming up later in the week. On the pair. Sunday, Easter Sunday, it's going to be a nice day, full of chocolate, and I think full of an Essendon versus GWS game. It's going to be pretty good.
Yeah. If you'd have looked at this game at the start of the year, you'd be like, "Oh, that's awful." But Essendon's been in good form. Giants haven't been as bad as you'd think. I think Essendon's still going to win, but it'll be, I think, okay. Maybe.
It's similar to that Essendon Gold Coast game the other week on the Sunday, where it was pretty tight, but Essendon ran away with it. So I'm tipping the Bombers.
Yep.
West Coast versus Melbourne. Oh no, no one's watching this game.
I feel a lot of times you see West Coast playing at home and you're like, oh, maybe they're a sniff this week. I don't think West Coast are even a slight chance.
Shouldn't even bother rocking up.
If not even because they're not bad. They just don't have any players now. All of their players are gone. Who do they have anymore?
I don't bring back what was his name from last year? Nielsen.
Oh yeah.
Remember the group that just went out?
The waffle guy.
The waffle guy. And then he got a lap of honor this year with Josh Kennedy.
If West Coast to win this game, they need Tim Kelly to have 50 and kick 5. That's about all they can do to win this game. Not asking for much. Not asking for much.
No, definitely not. Like if you're asking for 50 and 5, that should be any given Sunday.
Could be happening. Melbourne's winning this. Let's not kid ourselves.
No, Melbourne, 100%. And the big one on Easter Monday, the Cats and the Hawks. This is a interesting game of football.
Even if the Cats were like 3-0 instead of 0-3, you'd be like the same sort of level of who's going to win this game, because Easter Monday and especially Hawthorn and Geelong are always weird.
Didn't the Hawks win this game this time last year?
Yep, they won it last year.
In the wet.
Yep.
I'm tipping the Cats. There is always a time, and I did say about the Cats earlier that I'm writing them off. They don't go 0-4. They win this game, they get a bit of confidence back. And as much as I'd love to see them go 0-4 and see the Hawks win, I think they get this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it too because it's just the smarter option. That is tough. Like, I think it's you know what it is though. I'm almost tipping the Cats because usually they come into this as favourites. Like usually they come like they're definitely still favourites now. But usually they come into this like already had a few wins on the board and then Hawthorn kind of stunned them. Whereas this time Geelong had a lot to play for. So I think they're not going to get caught out by that. And they're going to like actually really they are going to need to win this game to keep their season on track. So I'm going to go the Cats as well. But yeah, this game always produces something weird. Some sort of weird stuff. It's always close.
It's weird. Speaking of odds, $1.18 to $4.95, the Cats favourites.
Yeah, right.
So they're heavily priced.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 0-3.
For fair reason. They've still got, 20 out of 23 premiership players, whatever it is. Like, they've still got more than enough of their premiership players out there.
How long can you have a hangover for, really?
Yeah. And it's still long. Like, it's still good.
I know, but like, I don't know.
Weird game. That game's going to be really weird. I'm tipping the Cats too, but
we've gone very rogue. Well, I've gone rogue.
I was going to say, I went rogue with a couple of them, but not many.
rogue, but we went rogue together. Then we didn't go rogue together, and then I went rogue, and you went safe, and we ended up being safe together on Monday. Long weekend. It's Easter. Have you got anything else to say before we sign off?
I don't think so. I think I watched a very funny video today about it's like the round in between gather round and rivalry round. 'Cause, like last round was like all the rivalries, and then next round's obviously gather round, and it's like round 4, and it's like the big clashes of Adelaide and Fremantle, Richmond and the Dogs, Sydney and Port, Essendon and the Giants. Oh, fuck.
It's a horrible round.
It's such a nothing round.
It's
So
horrible.
much of it.
And it's on
Like-
Easter. It's almost like the AFL's given up on Easter.
Literally, the only like rivalry you can find out of that is Geelong Hawthorn. The rest
Correct.
is just some games you can just throw people together in and just
You'll catch me watching Thursday night. I'm definitely not watching
Obviously.
Friday. There's no chance. I'll watch nothing of Saturday. I'm obviously going to tune into both games on Saturday night. Sunday's not getting a single bit of attention from me, and I'll be there from start to finish Monday.
Oh boy.
So
It's a
shit
very
round.
weird round. I'm gonna
And then
try
we
and get to as many as I can, but I don't think I'm gonna get to many.
Marvel. There's a lot in Melbourne. Last week there wasn't too many actually.
Yeah, I might. So the Friday's a maybe if I want to go out and watch North and Carlton.
If I want, that's what a lot of fans say about that game.
I'll go to St Kilda Gold Coast. Could probably go to Essendon Giants, and could probably go to the Easter Monday game. I don't know. We'll see how we go.
There was a lot of could have in that.
A lot.
Find out. So that is round 4. That is episode 5. We're ticking along nicely. Be interesting to see how our tips go. We're getting closer to gather round, which
Yeah.
we're going to do something special for, and then also, I don't know. I've got nothing. I'm just dabbling at the moment.
We'll record some videos for the pair that are unrelated to class table, I'm sure.
Yeah, there might be a couple of vlogs actually. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, glass table at 5, mate.
Yes, that was lovely.
Yeah,
Nice to be back. I reckon we're hitting a consistent L15 like every single time now.
Yeah.
Like, hope you like tuning in because oh boy.
If you've made it this far, subscribe.
And tweet at me saying, go Suns. There you go.
If you've made it this far, hello.
Hello. Tweet me.
All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
All right.